This is it. The final night. I'm at my breaking point with all of this. I just want to go home, see my family, and forget all this torture and madness never happened. Tonight is my only shot to do that, so I have to give it my all, and I need to come out victorious, or my life will be snuffed out by those mascots. The trauma, the nightmares, the pain, all of it ends tonight. It was 11:50 when I arrived. My office had seen better days for sure. The Treasure Island sign was snapped in half. My desk had a huge chunk of wood missing from it, and half of my cameras were blanked out due to that red humanoid. I begun to check my surroundings, seeing if anything was different. It wasn't, thankfully, so I sorted out my office to make it less disheveled and more functional. But then the time was 12 AM. Here we go, my last night. The suits, like the last night, were not holding back. Maybe in their sick and demented head, they knew this was their final chance to claim one more casualty. But I was not gonna let that happen. Photo Negative Mickey and that goofy costume were in the janitor's closet, both staring into the camera with devilish glee. Or at least Goofy attempted to, but he was lacking a head. Photo Negative Mickey's face had contorted into its nightmarish smile, but then the camera went to static and they both vanished. I heard the face bang on the roof. He was already on the attack, and the night had just started. As I was thinking that, Photo Negative Mickey appeared in my office. He laughed. But my reflexes were at an all-time high due to my adrenaline rushing through the veins, and I shut off the camera. And he slipped out of my office and wandered elsewhere in the building. Oswald then appeared in my office just after Photo Negative Mickey left. I heard him say, but the rabbit wasn't getting the best of me tonight, and the camera went off, and he left in defeat. The time hit 1 AM, and I heard Suicide Mouse saying,
I have seen true despair.
and his disturbing music begun to play. I saw Suicide Mouse in the hallways. His arms were stretched out like he wanted to grab something, and his facial expression was one of anguish and suffering. He then appeared in the office and said,
I don't deserve this life.
Then the face appeared at the same time. He said, both of them were in the office at the same time. I just hoped shutting off the camera would stop the both of them. But it did, for one of them. However, the face remained unconvinced, and he charged at me, but I hit that thing with a right hook to its face, and I crushed the thing's skull in. It wasn't hard to do due to its material being quite weathered. The thing was down for the count. However, I wondered how the other suits would act. The time had hit 3 AM, and I heard the Steamboat Willie Mickey say,
Hi there.
At the same time, Photo Negative Minnie laughed. I checked my cameras, and the Steamboat Willie Mickey was in the lounge, its happy and pleasant face stained with malice and pure evil as it stared into the cameras. Photo Negative Minnie was in the character prep, hanging from presumably a noose, but I could only make out her dress and her high heels, and she vanished as the camera went to static. Afterwards, Goofy appeared into my office. I heard him shout, "Hear me." I hid under the desk, hoping it would still fall that thing, despite the chunk of it missing, leaving me a little bit exposed. But the thing was still fooled by the tactic, and he left the office. Photo Negative Minnie appeared in my office. I heard her say,
Why do I exist?
I powered down the camera, and she didn't leave. She was still there, her human-like teeth exposed in all of its disgust. She then jumped at me and attempted to bite me, but a swift kick to her face knocked down the mouse. But then I grabbed a nearby sheet of metal that had fallen from the ceiling, and I plunged it into her skull right between the eyes. And she moved no more. After ending Minnie, Oswald appeared into my office, and he said, and I powered down the camera. But just like Minnie, he didn't leave. He leapt at me and tried to disembowel me, but I was too quick. I grabbed the thing by its ears and smashed it into my desk over and over, until the thing's face was nothing more than discoloured fabric and yellowed blood. I then dropped the thing to the ground and went back to monitoring the cameras. The time was now 5 AM, just one more hour before this would all end. I checked the cameras and saw Photo Negative Mickey and Suicide Mouse together in the same camera. They stared into the camera with pure anger and malice printed on their faces. They wanted to kill me more than ever. Right after thinking that, the red humanoid appeared at my office. I did not know what to do, so I shut off the camera. And luckily it worked, and the thing left. But after dealing with that thing, I saw a sight that made my body go as cold as ice. Photo Negative Mickey, Steamboat Willie Mickey, and Suicide Mouse were in my office. Photo Negative Mickey let out a demonic laugh. And then he did something I have never seen these damn things do before. He grabbed the Treasure Island sign and raised it to my direction. He was planning on battering me to death. However, before he could, Suicide Mouse and Steamboat Willie leapt at me trying to kill me. I snapped Suicide Mouse's neck, and the thing finally got what it wanted. It truly did not deserve its life. However, the Steamboat Willie Mickey was not so easy to take down. That thing was strong. The thing had claws where its fingers should be. I have never seen them due to the lounge camera being noticeably darker than the rest. The thing slashed at me, cutting my hand, almost hitting my veins. My blood poured onto the floor as I cried out in agony. The thing seemed pleased with itself. However, I was not gonna die in this sick and twisted place, so I fought through the pain and smacked the thing across its face, and it fell to the floor. Then Photo Negative Mickey sprinted towards me, sign still in hand, so I ran out of the office and looked for my exit that the team made. However, when I arrived, those damn things had blocked it off, and I was in too much pain in an attempt to move it, so I continued running as the suit was still hot on my trail. I turned the corner and I spotted the main door. Quickly thinking, I ran to it. However, it was locked. Then I thought, the key! Thank God I had held onto that thing. I quickly unlocked the door. However, the suit hit me in the leg with the sign, and I fell to the floor. I guess this was it. The suit let out a demonic laugh. I guess the thing won after all. However, to my right, there was a bucket of gasoline that was used to power the generators. Quickly thinking, I splashed the suit with disgusting liquid. But it worked. The thing was blinded, and he tried to land the killing blow on me. But the thing couldn't see. The thing then smashed the sign into some loose cables that were dangling from the roof, and the thing caught on fire. It made no sound, but just flailed around everywhere. Quickly thinking, I lathered the whole place in gasoline before dropping the bucket. I ran out of the building, which was turned into a blazing hellscape. I looked around for any ways off the island, and then I spotted a raft with 2 oars on it. I got in it, and I sailed off the island towards the mainlands. The nightmare had finally concluded. Now that you're all caught up, I watched a news report recently. It mentioned that a kid had gone missing, but at the scene of the crime, all that there was a piece of photo negative cloth. It survived! That does it. I'm going back to the island, and I'm finishing that thing off once and for all.